Welcome once again, everybody, to a new episode of 2023 of From the Hill podcast.
Yes, sir.
I am your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright, and with me is Mr. T. Gooden tonight. Mr. T. Gooden, how was everything with your New Year and Christmas and all that good stuff?
Man, everything was well, Wayne, man. Good to see you. Glad to be back on the podcast. Everything went well with Christmas and New Year's. How's everything on your end?
Everything was great, man. Got to take the kids and the wife to Orlando. Got to do that Universal and Disney thing. So, yeah, It was pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and we got some unseasonably warm weather here in Columbus, Ohio, man. It's in the high 40s, so we feeling good. So, but we got us a really, really nice show tonight for you. And
we do.
We've got this Marching Maroon and White episode, and you're going to see plenty of people that are going to join us here in a few moments' time. But before we do get into the show, we got to do our usual housekeeping, which is, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, you've got all of the ways that you can follow us. You've got our YouTube channel that we do ask you to subscribe to, and also to hit that like button. Also hit that like button on our Facebook page. You can follow us at From the Hill Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram as well as Twitter. Many of you are joining us for the very first time, and we thank you, and we love that everybody's joining us tonight. And we also want to make sure that those that will be watching this via recording, make sure you also hit that like button and spread the word. So, first of 10 consecutive weeks on Tuesday nights. Let's get into it. You ready, T. Gooden?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir. Ready to roll.
Well, in honor of rest in peace to Gangsta Boo, I had to pull out for our montage music for our basketball recap. We got a little bit of 3-6 Mafia for you. So let's go. This is the women's recap. Who run it? The women were running it until last night. As you can see, these are games that took place. Yeah, these are games that took place prior to us being on air. So as you can see in December, they went to Nashville and lost to Vanderbilt, and then they picked up a victory at Central Arkansas. Then we turned the page into 2023. They started with 3 consecutive SWAC wins, and then they hit the road last night in Jackson and hit a bit of a speed bump, T. Gooden. So you saw that they lost by the score of 63.
Yeah, they did, man. I just want to say back to the decent.
Go ahead, T. Gooden.
Yep, back fool you. We did play well against Vanderbilt, and then we picked up momentum after that loss to Vanderbilt, but we'll get it back together. That's
right. So they sit 3-1 in the SWAC. I mean, Jackson State women, they've won 41 consecutive games in the league. So it was not really a surprise that they lost to them. But the good news is that's the only time they play them during the regular season. And so moving ahead, you can see the schedule. This Monday, they will be down in Mobile to take on the heated rival from down the road. We won't say their name, but you see their decal on that screen. And then you can see the next home game will be on the January the 21st as Texas Southern comes to town, and you can see the rest of their January schedule. And now, shifting the page to our men's recap. As you can see, throughout December, they had some money games on the schedule. Now, that middle game there, that game against Vanderbilt, that was a 1-point game with a minute and a half remaining, and they let it slip away. And then I had the pleasure of being in attendance when they came here to play Ohio State. Man, it was a good turnout by alumni. And then we turned the page into January. They took on Pine Bluff in that conference opener. They knocked them off. They also knocked off Mississippi Valley State with 2 second-half comebacks. And then they hit the road for Mississippi and went down to the Alcorn Braves, who were the defending regular season champion. And then last night they fell 72-64 at Jackson State, which brings their record to an even 2-2 in the SWAC and 6-11 overall. And you can see their schedule is the same as the one that the women have. Monday in Mobile, Bridge Builder Classic against Alabama State. let's get back into winning patterns. Comments, T. Gooden, before we turn over.
Man, I just want us to get back on the winning pattern, man, with going to Mobile and beating Alabama State. So let's go ahead and, we're in Mobile. Might as well go down there and beat them in Mobile. Get back us on the winning track, and then we'll get it going from there. One game at a time, one quarter, one half at a time.
That's right. That's right. So that is our basketball recap. And so we've got none other than our brother, Mr. David Thomas. Hello, David.
Hey.
Good to see you, my brother.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, David?
So, David, before we bring on our distinguished guest this evening, why don't you say a few things about what we're getting ready to see?
Absolutely. So, as you guys see, that the title of this episode is the Marching Maroon White Showcase, and we wanted to bring on the directors of the Marching Maroon White onto the show so you guys can, get to know them a little bit, understand some things that's going on with the Marching Maroon White for the 2023 season, and maybe get some questions that you guys might have. So me being a former Marching Maroon White member, I'm excited to be on. You guys know I'm in the background, working on things. So I'm excited to be on to ask them these questions.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so without further delay, we know that many of you have come on to see. You've asked for them. Here they come. Mr. Shelman Miller, Mr. Carlton Wright, and Mr. Mario Warren. Welcome to the show, Marching Maroon and White Bulldogs.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Let's get it. All right. So, David.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring up, and I also got to bring up Jen. Hello, Jen. You're with us.
Hi, y'all. I do apologize. I am having some technical difficulties, but I'm in here.
All right.
Well, let's go. Get this thing kicked off. So before we get into our questions, I want to allow you gentlemen to go ahead and just give a brief intro about yourself. Where you're from, what you did before you came to become on staff at A&M, family life, things like that, so people get to know just a little bit better outside of marching band stuff.
All right, I'll go ahead and take the first round. Good evening, Bulldogs. My name is Carlton Wright. I am Director of Bands here at Alabama A&M University. I am a 1986 graduate of A&M, proud graduate of A&M, and I hail from Montgomery, Alabama, where I attended school at Carver High School in Montgomery. And like I said, I came here to A&M. I graduated in '86. I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army through the ROTC program here at A&M. I did my graduate work at Hampton University in Virginia, studied under a former band director here at Alabama A&M, the late Mr. Barney Smart. And my career path has taken me from Fairfield High School, right outside of Birmingham. From there, I went to my alma mater at Carver High School in Montgomery. And then from there, I came to Minor High School back in Birmingham area, stayed there for 10 years. And in 2013, I was blessed to be named as Director of Bands here at Alabama A&M University. I am married. My wife, Jocelyn, is in Birmingham with my daughters, Carmen and Jalen, and my son, Joey, is in Atlanta. And everybody in my household attended Alabama A&M, as well as my sister in Montgomery. I have two sisters, Christine and Corlin. Christine went to A&M. I follow her here. And my oldest sister, she went to that other school down there in Montgomery. What's that place? Anyway, y'all.
It don't even matter. It don't even matter.
Yeah, so
it don't even matter.
I'm really excited about this year, and have been excited about my entire tenure here at Alabama A&M. So that's it in a nutshell for me. So I'll pass it on to Mario and Drew.
Hello, my name is Mario Warren. I'm the Associate Director here at Alabama A&M University. From Memphis, Tennessee. Graduated from Tennessee State University. Have one son. His name is Marcellus. Obviously, I have to win Marcellus. I'm a trumpet player. So that's about it. I arrange a lot of music here and do what I need to do to assist Mr. Wright to make this band function.
And because you have such great arrangements, we won't hold that TSU thing against you.
I appreciate you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shelman Drew Miller. 1990, I got to A&M in 1997. I'm a 2002 graduate. A&M got my money twice, so I'm also a summer 2006 graduate with my master's. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, representing the spots, like real Atlanta, not the outskirts. Graduate from Benjamin Elijah Mays High School. I'm a tuba player. I was tuba section leader here at A&M. Currently the band director at Columbia High School here in Huntsville. Before I got on staff with Mr. Wright, I've been all in Huntsville. Davis Hills Middle School, Providence Middle School, Chapman School, Williams Middle School, too many schools. But now I'm at Columbia High School. This is my 6th year there. Happy to be building the band program there and sending kids here. So I also play piano. I'm currently a musician at West Madison Lake Baptist Church. I also have played at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church in Tarrant, down outside Birmingham. So I'm a musician through and through. Also tuba play with Cool Bone Jazz Band. So Mardi Gras gigs, I'll let me. We got you.
Nice. Appreciate that introduction, fellas. Getting into the questions, I'm just going to shoot right into it, right? So, Mr. Robin, throw the first one at you regarding the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So that's like the biggest event that's coming up for the band in 2023. I want you to talk about that selection process a little bit, what the band is doing to prepare for that, and about maybe a rough estimate about how much money is needed to raise money for the band to make this trip.
Okay, thank you, David. Wow, that was a big surprise because most bands that apply don't get in on the first attempt, but we were fortunate to do so. So just going back a couple of years ago, I was watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade at home in Birmingham because my second alma mater, Hampton University, was in the parade. And as they marched through, I had a sense of pride, and I'm like, okay, this is something that we could do, and I may as well throw our name in the hat. So I applied, and it took about 2 or 3 months before we heard anything back. So in that package, we had to send the band's resume, the band's history, my biography, bio, pictures of the band, flyers, and things of that nature. So we were able to send all of that in, and I got the call back in March of 2021, and I was judging of a competition in Auburn for high school symphonic band evaluations, and Wesley called and told me, not Mr. Wesley, our former band director, but Wesley called and told me that we were selected, and I really had to keep it a secret for about 2.5 months, almost 3 months, before we were able to do the big reveal, as you can see on this flyer right here. So the process was fairly simple, just filling out the information and sending it in on time. So we just studied everything, made sure everything looked good, got some strong letters of recommendation, and the rest was history. So we're happy to be involved with the Macy's Parade. And so far, we have sent $125,000 to performing arts consultants who's the group that's handling our trip. And this is going to include transportation, lodging, meals. While we're there, the Dancing Divas and the Color Guard would have an opportunity to perform on stage before the Rockettes open up their show. We're going to sit and see that show with them, with the Rockettes, and our ladies will perform at that venue. We're going to see a couple of stage plays, one of them being The Lion King, musicals, I should say. What else are we doing? We're doing a very nice dinner cruise up and down the Hudson River and the East River. So it's a plethora of things that we're going to do. But one thing I demanded that our students were able to experience is everything in Harlem. I want to take the students to Harlem so that they can see everything about the Harlem Renaissance, including the Apollo Theater, because so much of our Black American history was born out of Harlem in the 20s and 30s. So with me being a strong advocate of Black history, I want to make sure that our students get a chance to see those things. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Oh, the balance of the trip, we probably right at about $300,000 that we have left to pay. So as you can see on the screen, everybody that's watching, please scan the QR code at the bottom, and that will take you right to our givings page, and you will help us out tremendously in our efforts to go to New York. So we appreciate those who have given so far, and we will just encourage and thank those in advance who will give in the future. So that's it in a nutshell, David.
Nice. And I remember when I was in the band in 2006, we did the Rose Bowl parade. And that was definitely an awesome experience. It wasn't just, okay, we're going to go to California, march in the parade, and then come back. There was a plethora of activities they have for us to do, and so I definitely understand you wanted to have the band get a full experience of this trip and not just going to do a performance and then coming back to Huntsville. So I think that's really awesome.
Right. One other thing, Mario and I were able to fly to New York this summer to take in some of the venues that we're going to see, and it's very exciting. So, Mario, if I missed anything, just recap those things, please.
We went to 30 Rock, went on top of that. Got a chance to sample some really good Italian food of a really, really nice Italian restaurant we're going to, and did some other things. The hotel is nice, has an amazing view of downtown New York, Manhattan, just an amazing view. So it's going to be a good time and a very, very good experience for the students.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mario, since we have you here, we got you for the next question. If I could, real quick, Jen.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, appreciate it. So, Mario, you mentioned that you graduated from Tennessee State, and with you being like a really great, talented arranger, how did your fellow aristocrats feel that you were coming to A&M to work, as opposed to maybe going back to TSU and keep your talents there?
I got some really, really, really good feedback. Like,
Okay.
Everybody was supportive. I was often going there just to do their summer camps and things like that. And I remember when I came to Alabama A&M to do my interview on the way to Tennessee State's band camp. Did my interview with Mr. Wright. He told me I was pretty much straight. So by the time I got there, I talked to the current band director, McDonald, told him I was good, and he announced it to everybody that I had the job. So when everybody clapped, and so everybody was very supportive. Like, I have 2 homes now.
But you didn't tell them about the part where they said you can't go back and work their band camp anymore.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't let me work the band camp.
I knew that was in there somewhere, but I know, us band members, we're kind of sensitive about letting our people go and, taking their talents at other places. So I knew something like that was in. I was just waiting for you to share that. Jen, you want to go ahead and kick it off with one of your questions?
Yes. I do want to direct this question to Drew. So not only is the band as a whole participating in the Macy's Day Parade, I'm understanding that you also are participating in the Macy's Day Parade in the high school band directors corps. Can you tell me about that process?
Yes. So, it's not just high schools; it's the band directors period.
Okay.
So I believe the last Rose Parade, there was a band that was composed of band directors, and I believe that was the first time. That happened, and it was a big hit. And they decided to do the same thing for the Macy's Parade. One of the pillars of the music educator community, not doctor, but Mr. Alfred Rocky, in one of our Facebook group of directors, posted the application link, and I just figured, let's go for it, see what happens. And so that process was more like just put in the band resume, accolades. So I'm dating myself, but back in 1996, when the Olympics were in Atlanta, I was fortunate enough to be selected for the Atlanta Olympic Games. So that was one of the things that I put down that I was a part of. They also want to balance the instrumentation, because you don't want to have the percussionist, whole bunch of drums and then no trumpet and 2 tubas. So they're balancing everything with all the applicants according to instrumentation. They're looking to make the band 400 strong. So I just put in the application and just waited to see what happened. And I got my email saying that I was selected. I was shocked because I know what that means. You get selected, it's an honor to be selected, but then you have to pay. So logistically, I'll be staying with the director's band because when we get up there, that's when we will rehearse because that'll be the first time and only time we will all gotten together as a group. So I'm getting my walking and running in. The music should start coming out to us within the next few months or so. And but all in all, I'm just looking forward to that experience. Hopefully, I can hop on a plane with A&M on the way up. But yeah, so everyone has their different various ways of raising funds, and I'm just looking forward to experiencing New York and for that experience because I've been to New York before with a high school orchestra, but this will definitely be the first time in the parade, and I'm hoping there's some unseasonable warm weather in New York because I don't like being cold. These joints they don't like the cold too much.
Well, awesome. I just think it's amazing that really A&M has double representation in this year's Macy's Day Parade. So that is super exciting. Super exciting. I do have a question for everyone, and that is, what made you want to become a band director? Like, what was it that made you want to pursue this field?
Well, for me, my entire family growing up in Montgomery was very musical. Both my mother and my father were great singers. My sisters, I have two sisters, and we all started taking piano lessons, but I stopped because of that stigma growing up at that time that if you played piano, then, you weren't, on top of your game as far as that goes and things like that. So my first experience with band was in junior high school at Carver Junior High School. The band director that I'm very fond of, I have two, at that time, Mr. Lowry was my middle school band director, and Mr. Curtis Hollinger, my high school band director. And I was also influenced by Mr. Barney Smart, who was also a band director at Carver High School. And just hearing the band play, just hearing those strong sounds out of the band, and it just did something to me. And I just always knew from the 8th grade on that this is what I wanted to do. And all in high school, we competed in all state competitions and district festivals and traveling. And this, I decided early on this was the life that I wanted to do. But I don't regret my decision, none whatsoever, because it's been a great career and I'm still enjoying it. So that's it, just at an early age.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Drew and Mario, you are also welcome to answer that question.
For me, I have an older cousin that played piano, and I would always be over their house ever since I was little. Fun fact, I found a picture of me sitting at a piano. I had to be no more than 3 or 4 years old, just sitting at the piano. So I remember going over to my house, my cousin's house, and I would just climb up on the piano bench and just bang on the piano as if I knew what I was doing. So eventually they got tired of me doing that and got me into piano lessons. My church pianist at my church would kind of show me a few things, and every time I got close to a piano, I would kind of just emulate what I had learned. So started playing piano formally with lessons in 2nd grade. Then in Atlanta, we started orchestra in the 3rd grade. I wanted to do band, but a violin is cheaper than anything else. So I got a violin. So I was playing violin from 3rd grade up through middle school. Then in my middle school, I was hanging around. My aunt was my ride. I'm in her room after school. Band director walks in and says, "Hey, you want to play tuba?" Just out the blue. And I kind of had that Mr. Hollins Opus moment where I thought, tuba players are supposed to be fat, bald folks. So I got part of that. Now, but I wasn't doing anything else, so I figured why not? And the band director stole me from the orchestra, and I've been on tuba ever since. Still play piano, all the way up until now. Was doing the national piano show competition, things like that. When I got to high school, my band director kind of threw me into the second band on trombone. So I kind of picked that up, played piano with the jazz band, and it's been part of me ever since. I also had a great uncle on my mom's side that played piano at the church down in the country. So I have that in my blood. However, oddly, neither my mom nor my dad played anything, but they loved it. They loved to listen to music, and they were strong supporters. Couldn't really sing anything, couldn't really play anything, but if there was a concert, they were always there. As a band director, my parents would drive from Atlanta to Huntsville for my band concert. And sometimes my mom still comes up too. My mom, my sister, my niece. Yeah, so I've been hooked for a long time.
Yes, well, me, it was basically my high school band director. My high school band director, he was an amazing guy. I really wasn't into band at all at first, just to be honest. But he just kind of made me do the right thing and got fun. I started getting into arranging and everything, and I, went on to Tennessee State. James Sexton, Kevin Davenport were my assistant band directors, and Edward Graves was the director of bands, and they just kind of molded me to what I am today. I taught in Detroit area for about 7 years, and I went to Whitehaven in Memphis for about 7 years. Did some really good things there, and just so happened met Mr. Wright because he ordered some arrangements for me. I didn't know him at all. When I was selling the arrangements, he just picked up the phone one day and called me and ordered some music, and we got close. And when he got the job at A&M, he just basically said, I just threw my name in there, like, if you need an arranger, let me know. He said, cool. And next thing I know, I was on the way to A&M.
Awesome. All right, David.
Okay. So this question is going to be for Mr. Wright and Mario. So everybody likes to see a really huge band, right? Everybody wants to see, 250, 350 piece bands. So when you guys are out recruiting, let us know, if there are certain areas that you target when recruiting, if there are certain instrumentations that you're looking for, because you do have people leave the band program for various reasons, whether it's graduation or something else. So what are you guys recruiting tactics to get people to come be a part of the Marching Maroon White?
Okay, Mario, you want to take the lead on this?
Yes, we look for good musicians. That's number one. We always look for good musicians. No, it doesn't matter what they play, because it's a use for every instrument in the band. Then we may have some special needs. Mr. Wright may say, hey, we need some baritones. We need baritones this year really bad. So let's make sure we concentrate on trying to find baritones. So you give, high school band directors a call, and you see how many baritones they have. You try to get in contact with them maybe sometimes before you go, so that they won't be new to you. But our recruiting is a lot of work. You have to go 9 times out of 10. You have to go and meet the students where they are and talk to them to develop that bond, because they're going to go where they develop a bond. That's what we see. They will go where they develop that bond with the band director, where they think they're going to be comfortable. So we look for good musicians.
Absolutely. And to piggyback on that, we have a strategy to not only go to the areas where we get a good bit of traffic as far as students coming to Alabama A&M with their interest, but we also go to those places that have outstanding band programs that kind of, we look for those band programs that have a complete band program and not just a marching band. And I'll get into that a little bit later on another topic, one of the questions that may pop up. But traditionally, the areas that we go to, we're starting to get a lot of traffic from Nashville. We've always had traffic from Birmingham, Mobile, Atlanta. Tuscaloosa has been on the radar for quite some time. Chattanooga, we're starting to get some interest from students in Chattanooga. Up in Chicago, we've gotten quite a few students from the northern Illinois area and St. Louis. So those are pretty much the out-of-state places that we've gone to. But our hub of students that we mainly recruit from as far as going to those places, schools in Birmingham, Atlanta, even Montgomery. Montgomery's dropped off a little bit. I guess the other school down there is capitalizing on those students in Montgomery. But Mobile is a hotbed for us as well. And just lately, we've gotten some interest from Dothan and Pensacola. So before COVID hit, our band staff used to go down to Pensacola for a retreat. And we ran into some band directors who were my fraternity brothers at Booker T. Washington High School. And I just talked to Mr. Young the other day, and he told me that some students are interested in coming our way. So we're going to do that. And since COVID has come about, Zoom has been a tool, a mechanism to do some recruiting, some virtual recruiting. So it's not the best because, like Mario was saying, that face-to-face interaction is really good. The students, you get a good feed from them, they get a good feed from us, and we're able to just really make that connection and just sit and talk with them and or their parents to make them feel comfortable, to let them know that they're coming into a program that is really solid and a program that is well-rounded. So we want them to understand that once they come here, we're going to look out for them. We're going to take care of them, but they've got to come in and do the right thing. So going back to what Mario said, we're looking for good students who want to graduate, students who don't want to just come here and be a band head, because that's not what we're looking for. We want students to come and make our university shine, and just get out and do some great things. Once they graduate, send some funds back to not only the university, but to the band as well. So that's our recruiting strategy. And again, on the screen that the people on checking us out online, just scan the QR code. It works. Thanks to Jason Etheridge, who created this QR code for us, and to Joe Murkison of our band boosters, who did the flyer. Just about all the flyers that you see band related, Joe does those, and Jason does the QR codes for us. So these guys are both alumnus of our band program. And while I'm talking about the boosters, I want to give a shout out to our band boosters, because going back to the Macy's thing, I know we're talking about recruiting, but I got to shout out my people. At our last football game, our band boosters donated $25,000 to our program to help us get to Macy's. So again,
Wow.
our band boosters for that, absolutely. And our individual gift donors are too numerous to name. So I just want to thank those guys once again for all your givings. And I don't mean to sound like a preacher at church, but please feel inclined to give when you see that QR code. But getting back to recruiting, that's pretty much it as far as what we do and what we try to bring in those good students.
Okay, awesome. Now, Mr. Wright, while I have you, I do want to ask this. I know we've been talking about the future of the marching band, but I kind of want to go back a little to the past. And so for those who are watching who are not familiar with A&M's band program, could you just give us a brief little history on the program and, things that people should know, like when it was founded, notable directors and accomplishments?
Okay. We have a very storied band history. The band was founded back in 1890, and I wish I had that picture that we could post and show. But it was founded in 1890 by Mr. William Grant Steele Sr. A lot of people have heard of his son, William Grant Steele Jr., who was a noted African-American composer. But William Grant Steele Sr. was our first band director. And when he moved back to Woodbridge, Mississippi, he handed the baton to an Alabama native, W.C. Handy, William Christopher Handy, who is from Florence, Alabama, which is about 70 miles away from us, headed west on Highway 72 or 20, which way you want to go. And that's over there in the UNA area. So Mr. Handy stayed for about 3 or 4 years. And a lot of people don't know this, but Mr. Handy and our university founder, Dr. William Hooper Council, they were like gas and matches. They did not get along. Dr. Council wanted the band program to be more refined of the classical and more artsy music. And, W.C. Handy, he was more like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and those guys. So he wanted to put his foot in and party all night. So that wasn't what our founder wanted. So after they parted ways, W.C. Handy decided to go to Bessemer, and he worked in the steel mills until he got his fame in Memphis, going over there writing Memphis blues and St. Louis blues and things like that. Following Mr. W.C. Handy was Mr. Wade Hammonds, who was the first Black conductor of the Army bands. And he later on, after he retired from the Army, I think he settled in Phoenix, Arizona, where he founded the Urban League, or started the Urban League chapter out there. And following him was Mr. James Wilson, I think, and Mr. Dawson. And after that, Mr. Barney Smart, who I referred to earlier, was my graduate school mentor. And following Mr. Smart was Mr. Wesley. And after that, Mr. Derek Yates. And comes up to my reign in 2013 when I came here to Alabama A&M. So some of the notable things that our band program has done, of course, David mentioned earlier the Rose Parade back in 2006. And my son was a freshman in that band at that time. And I'm bouncing around because I don't have the dates written down in front of me, but as they come to my head, in 2018, we took the percussion section out to the Rose Parade. That was a year that the Super Bowl was played in Atlanta, and they did not have the Honda Battle of the Bands. So what Honda did, they took all the percussion sections from the previous Honda Battle of the Bands and flew us out to California to the Rose Parade, and we played with Miles College, Alabama State. Well, they were in the parade, so they didn't participate in that event. Tennessee State, I think North Carolina A&T, a bunch of schools were out there from the previous parade. So that was a great experience for us. We've recently been to several Honda Battles of the Bands. We just participated in the National Battle of the Bands in Houston. And we've gone to several events. It's too numerous to name, but the band has played at, back when I was a student, at the Atlanta and Green Bay football game over Thanksgiving weekend. I think that might have been like 1983, a long time ago. But nonetheless, we've got a storied history. And one thing I am proud of, yeah, that's the picture I was talking about right there. Thank you, guys. And right to the left of the bass drum is Mr. W.C. Handy holding the cornet. One thing that I am proud of that we were able to do is to start our wind ensemble tour, in which we hope to bring that. We are bringing that back this year. We were the first band to perform at the Alabama Bandmasters Association All-State Convention Friday night concert. That was a really big deal because we're playing in front of 1,200 students that are potential recruits here. So our wind ensemble was able to perform there. I think that was 2018 or 19. And then the following year, we were able to perform at the HBCU Band Directors Consortium in Atlanta. So that's something that we want to continue with our wind ensemble, because we attract those better students who understand what good music is about as far as wind ensemble symphonic band music. So that's our history and present in a nutshell.
Awesome. And I just want to mention, I was in Houston for that competition, and I was so proud of y'all. Like, oh, the presentation was amazing.
Thank you, ma'am.
So guys, I just wanted to kind of cut in real quick because I wanted to just give you guys take a little step back and just do a couple quick hits here, because we got some comments that a lot of people have. We just got some pretty quick ones. So just a little bit of quick ones. First one: what scholarship opportunities are there for band students?
Okay. We are actively recruiting now. We are getting ready to hit the road and go to some of those places that we talked about. And the audition requirements, I wish I would have thought to put those up on the screen. But our audition requirements are basically, students have to play through the 12 major scales, as many of them as they can, 2 minor scales, A minor and A melodic and C harmonic, vice versa. chromatic scale from the bottom of your instrument as high as you can go comfortably, and sight reading, the meaning that you pick up a piece of music that you have never seen before, and we give you 1 minute to study, and after that, we put the timer on for you to go ahead and play that music with as few mistakes as possible, with a good tone quality, good intonation, and other tangibles in the music, nuances, I should say. And pretty much that's it with the wind portion. Mario, Drew, talk about the percussion aspect.
The percussion you need to play. I don't have it in front of me, but it's going to be several rudiments. Obviously, sight reading. You're going to have to definitely play those mallets. Very important. Show us evidence that you know how to tune a timpani. It's the percussion part is very involved. So you have to know how to get around and play everything back there in case we have to switch around. You never know if somebody doesn't show up to a performance. You need to be able to handle that part and win on something, because our band program revolves around the win on something.
Awesome. All right. Next one here. What is the Marching Maroon and White doing to expand their exposure to reach more students through social media?
Well, we've recently added a media team, and they're very novice in their beginnings, so they are learning as they go. And what we're doing is trying to get students out of the telecommunications department who are majoring in this field, and we cover all the social media platforms, so they are streaming as we perform, and as quickly as possible they upload videos from our performances so that people can see those things. Our section leaders, we tasked them to come up with TikTok channels or pages so that they can reach the students in their area. We know that the demographics for Facebook and Instagram are not really targeted towards the younger generation, and TikTok is the thing that they're going towards now. So we have tasked our section leaders and our media team to come up with those kinds of channels so that they can reach more people.
Okay.
Some of the
Next.
things we're doing.
Okay, now I got one more, and then I'm gonna swing it back to David, because there's about 7 questions that have been asked of a similar topic that he's got to ask. But I'm gonna give this one more question here: is how do you be a part of the band boosters?
Okay, with that, our band booster organization has been around since 2015, and it's basically a membership. I forget the amount, but we will put the web page, well, the email address up so people can go in and sign up to be a band booster. You don't have to sell anything out of concession stand like high school band boosters do. All the band boosters do is help us raise money, and their membership fees, they go into a pot that helps us to feed the band on certain trips, buy certain materials. Like sometimes we bought drum heads, drumsticks, valve oil, reeds, things like that, spats, gloves, things of that nature. So the membership is just basically to sign up, and I will get that information to you guys so you can post it very shortly.
Awesome. All right, Dave, you got this one.
All right, y'all. It's a hot seat question. So I hope y'all ready for it. So you guys may or may not know, but the band has received, quite a bit of criticisms for not playing a lot, at the games, or not playing at the appropriate times when the crowd feels the band should play. Some feel that the visiting band has played more than, our band. So if you guys could just give us a bit of insight on, how it's determined when the band is going to play. Are there any certain rules that you guys have to follow when, calling music off and things like that?
Okay, I'll go ahead and take the lead on that as well. And yes, I am aware of the criticism that we received about the band not playing, but I am a person who understands rules and who understands consequences. And maybe we should explain to the audiences on our web pages what the rules are. The Southwestern Athletic Conference has a guide that we band directors must go by, and the band directors of the Southwestern, of the SWAC, we have annual and semi-annual conferences via Zoom, and before COVID hit, we met in person. And everybody is to follow the same rules. For anybody that has been to several of our games, you probably have noticed that we have received warnings from the officials about the band playing, stop playing at this point. With the A&M band, please stop playing. And basically what the SWAC rules state is that once the team breaks the huddle, there's to be no playing. There's to be no horns, no drum rolls, no loud music or anything like that. And the way that colleges and have gone to a pro set now, where the spread offense is in effect, the offensive team probably has 2 plays called in one huddle, and after that after that play is executed, they get up and run back to the line of scrimmage, and they are playing that they're getting ready to snap the ball again. So when we do that, it's hard for us to gauge when the team is going to move to the huddle of what. So we get these warnings, so we have to stop playing. I think at one of our last games, we got 2 warnings. And when the band went to Mississippi Valley to play at that particular game, and there were some other games that Coach Maynard run over to the band, fussing, telling us to stop playing this, that, and the other. So, that's the reason why it's hard to gauge when we can play and when we cannot play. So the fans just have to understand that, these are rules that we have to go by. And I'm going to read some of these rules right here, the most pertinent rules. The referee will stop play and announce to the fans, and as he is asking the bands to stop playing. This will also signal public address announcer to make the same request. The game official will do this twice. Any additional violations should be reported to the coordinator of football officials, who in turn will advise the conference office. The band found to have violated these policies listed above may be subject to the following penalties. The first offense, public reprimand and censure. The second offense, public reprimand, suspension from the performing of the next contest, or a fine to be determined by the commissioner. And the third and final offense, suspension from performing for the remainder of the game and or the season. Now, I don't think it's going to go that far, but these are SWAC rules, and we don't want to get fined, because if the football team is in a close game and we happen to get a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct on the band, then that's going to come on us. And if the university gets fined up to $5,000, $10,000, whatever it's going to be, I don't want to stand on the president's carpet explaining why we got that fine. So, if the people don't understand that, then, I get it. I get it. They want to be entertained, but at the same time, we are responsible for what we do as well.
At the beginning of every game, the refs, just like they go to the football team, they come to the band too and tell us the rules.
Right.
At the beginning of every game, they come up, do you understand the rules? If you do this, this is what's going to happen. So they're very serious about us playing when we're supposed to play. I don't know whether other schools follow the rules, but I know Mr. Wright will follow the rules, and I definitely believe in that. That's a thing that will make the university look bad. And you're at a football game. It is a football game. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize your football team winning.
So basically what you're saying is, if you're going to complain, open your wallet. Amen? And amen.
Yeah, pay that fine. Pay the fine if you want to hear that music.
Exactly.
Pay that fine.
Pay the fine.
Now, this is not something that
I just want to add.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, T. Gooden. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I just want to add to what Dr. Wright said. That it's a SWAC rule, but it's a whole thing with the NCAA. It's not just a SWAC conference. You can't even do that in the SEC or the Pac-12 either. So I know we like to hear our good soul music. One of the reasons you don't hear the bands on TV play for a long time is because the crowd is extremely loud. Mm-hmm. So the end is really hurt anyway. So it goes. We got to follow the rules. But if the fans will stand up and be engaged, we won't have to worry about that anyway, and everybody's happy.
Right.
Ooh, message.
Yeah.
Message.
So
go ahead, Drew.
Football team under the bus, but a lot of times the band will play after a score. If there's no touchdowns and no field goals, well, those opportunities just don't happen. So, and if the other team is scoring and they're playing after their team scores, after their touchdowns and field goals, well, then it looks like, well, how come A&M's not playing? Well, we haven't scored since the first quarter or whenever. So that extra opportunity to sneak in a song here or there, those opportunities don't arise. So sometimes the flow of the game really dictate.
One more thing I want to add too.
As well.
Go ahead, T. Gooden.
And one more thing, like a lot of people always say, like the other band is louder than us. Well, yeah, because they're facing us. It's not like they're playing extremely loud. Like you got to realize how sound works. If the band is facing you, they're going to be louder. If your band is on your side, the sound is going to wave. You're not going to hear them when you sit all the way on the other end. So we got to think through that stuff sometimes before we say our band is quiet. Well, you're on the other end. The sound is facing the other way. So let's be smart.
Yeah, and you guys said a mouthful. You guys said a mouthful when you talked
Basic
about
physics. Basic
you guys
physics.
talking about spread offense because everybody runs this hurry up spread offense. I mean, it's like 10 seconds. They right back on the line of scrimmage. Like, what you gonna do? Like, what can you play in 10 seconds? You get ready to blow the whistle and get the attention of the band. They already snapped the ball for the next play.
And T. Good, let me add something to what you just talked about. Everybody talk about how loud the band is or how loud the band is not. I don't give a flip about loudness. I care about how we sound as far as the things that Mr. Warren, Mr. Miller, and I and other band directors were taught in terms of making a good quality band sound. And people get so upset or excited about a loud band. But they don't know if the band is playing in tune. They don't know if the band is articulating right. They don't know if the band is playing the right rhythms. Right. All they know is the band is playing loud. That goes out the window with me. You know, we're gonna do things the way we've been taught. That's why I asked these guys to come and work with us. So, and another thing, to answer another question, sometimes I get from old alumni. Well, how come the band walk off the field and don't play and don't march into the stands? Well, the same rule applies. By the time we get into the stand, start marching the stand good, the second half kickoff has started. And what does the rule say? No drums. So why are we going to go against that and, just to satisfy people who just don't understand? So what I think we're going to do is get Mr. St. Jones to post these rules on the website, and we're going to post them on the Band Boosters website as well as our band website. Mr. Murkison, Joe Murkison is working on a new band website for us. So we're going to post all these rules so that everybody can see them. And I think we're just going to blow them up and post them all over the stadium. And if they want to complain, then, I get that. But we're going to try to help them to understand what doing the right thing is all about. So my phone number is 256-372-4099. My email address is carlton.wright@aamu.edu. I'll be happy to talk with anybody about this. My office is 113 Morrison Fine Arts Building. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's right, Dr. Wright. That's right, Mr. Wright. Talk your ish, Mr. Wright. He said, "Come see me."
And they should send a cash out before they even come to your office to call your
right.
phone. The SAC to the SWAC. In the SAC, we had more time during halftime. We had like a good 10 to 12 minutes. SWAC halftime, you get 8. So no, we can't do the Death March and the Fast March going from concert into dance band. We don't have time. Shoot, the entrance took 2 minutes. So we either have the entrance like we did, however many years ago, and then as soon as we get on the field, we march right on off, or even get on the field, do a full show, and then run off because we have a shorter time constraint. So that's part of the changes that have happened as well.
Absolutely. So I hope all that information was very insightful for everybody who likes to give their criticisms, and now you understand why. Before we get up out of here, Mr. Wright, I want to give you an opportunity to let everybody know what the band has coming up in the next couple of days as far as performances.
Boy. Okay. first on this Sunday, we will be traveling to Atlanta, Georgia for the HBCU Culture Battle of the Bands. And this is a great event. Mr. and Mrs. Frank Johnson, who are the founders of this event, they have been so gracious to us over the last 2 or 3 years, last 2 years, and we're excited about that. And as you can see, Miles College, Alabama A&M, Southern University, Jackson State, Talladega, and Alabama State University all will be at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. That event starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, this Sunday on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, Sunday the 15th. And we are playing to decide Section 108. We don't have a designated area like the Honda Battle of the Band say, okay, A&M, your fans can buy the tickets in 108. Alabama State, you can buy your tickets in 107 or whatever the case is. So it's basically a general admission, and we are playing to decide the center section in Section 108 and 208. So, excuse me, please come out and support us, and we'll be happy to see you there. The next event will be Split. The band is going to Montgomery and to Mobile from that point. We're going to send the pep band to Mobile to support our men's and women's basketball team at the Bridge Builder Classic. And it's going to be played at the Mitchell Center. I think that's at the University of South Alabama's campus. So we will be, Mr. Warren will take the pep band down there, and I will stay back with the majority of the band. We will be marching in Governor Kay Ivey's inaugural parade. So this will be the first time. Nice. I don't know if A&M has participated in this parade in the past, but we're definitely going to go and represent the university in this parade, and it'll position us, I think, to ask Governor Kay Ivey for more funding for the university. So, like I said, I think this will be our first time that we've done this. You know, sometimes you have to play the game and be political, and this is one of those events that I don't mind supporting. And after that, you know, totally it's right, okay. And it's on with recruiting. I will start out recruiting on tomorrow. I am going down to the Black Belt. I better not say what schools I'm going to. Enemies on here listening, but I know some hot pockets down there that I'm going to go and recruit. And from there, I will be in Daphne on Thursday and Friday, doing an honor band for the Baldwin County Honor Band. So that's a recruiting exercise in itself. So, and then when we come back from that point, Mr. Warren and I, and Mr. Miller will be in Birmingham as well, but Mr. Warren and I in particular are taking 8 of our students to participate in the Alabama Intercollegiate Band, which is a big honor band for all of the Alabama schools in the state, colleges and universities in the state. So our students will be playing besides some, those students from PWIs, Auburn, Alabama, Sanford University, Alabama State students will be there, I'm sure, as well as some of the other schools. But we want to make people know that our students can sit at the table with anybody, and that they're just as good as any of the other schools, PWI or HBCU, it doesn't matter. We have pride in our students, and we want them to experience everything that they should and could be able to experience to make their college experience a whole lot better and more memorable. So that's it in a nutshell.
That's awesome. And I just want to take a couple quick moments here. A couple more, just a few more of these quick comments and questions, because we got such good energy in here. Will the band implement a summer high school camp to help with recruiting?
Absolutely. We have been working on that camp, and we just missed the deadline this past year. I didn't realize that after COVID, that camps would be allowed to take place. So I've already started working on that package, and we are going to be ready when Dr. Edwards say, okay, we're going to have our first meeting. Mr. Warren and I are going to have everything ready to go. And so we hope to bring in about 200 or more students to our band camp. And the earlier you start impressing these kids, the better. And that's going to piggyback on our high school band day, where we invite students from all over, wherever they want to come from. And we've had as many as 300 students to come and participate in that event. And that's a great recruiting tool as well. So to the summer band camp, yes, we are working on that.
That is awesome. So this has been really, really good. Before we do the last segment here with you, Mr. Wright, I just wanted to tell everybody that's on here, please hit that like button, hit that love button, and share this thing. All right.
Absolutely.
Now, just to kind of get you guys all caught up, we've got a lot of different links here that we put into the chat. A lot of things that we talked about. People asked about boosters. People asked about. So here's the boosters link to join the Marching Maroon and White boosters. There's that one. Here's another one about how you can follow the Marching Maroon and White boosters on Instagram. So, there's a lot of different things that are out here. So we just wanted to make sure that everybody is apprised of certain things, because we see everybody performing and doing great things, but we just wanted to know, like, what is behind the veil? How does all this stuff come together? So this last segment with you, Mr. Wright, we're going to all come off camera, and you kind of done a little bit of the thunder when you talk about find me with my number and my office and all that. But I want to give you a few minutes by yourself on this camera to talk to all of the viewers and all of Bulldog Nation, because it's not just the people who are watching here live. There are people who are going to go back and they're going to watch this recording. So I want you to have the opportunity to address Bulldog Nation, whatever you want to say. If it's donations you're looking for, if it's recruiting, whatever you want to say, we're going to get off camera and the floor is yours. And when you're done with your address, just say I'm good and we'll all come back on.
Okay. I want to thank you guys for inviting our band staff to come out and speak to the audience about what our band program is all about. And, just thank all of our supporters that have been with us through thick and thin. We know we cannot please everybody, but, we try to make sure that we touch everybody as far as what we do. We're not just a one-faceted band. When it comes down to a total band program, I want to make sure that all of our students experience this. One thing that people may not understand is that we are training future band directors in our program. We have several students who are going to be outstanding in their craft, and we want to make sure that we give them the best overall education that we can in terms of what they're going to be doing as band directors. So 95% of the things that we do is not for the masses of the band. 95% of the things that we do is geared towards making sure that our music majors are going to understand that someday this is going to be you. You have to know how to tune the band. You have to know how to rehearse the band. You have to know how to plan and build budgets and things like that. So that's what we try to do as far as our music majors are concerned. As far as our preparations for any performance, we put a lot of time in. Our students work very hard. They're probably some of the hardest working students on campus. We get here at late July for band camp, and we don't leave until the last student walks across the stage at graduation. So it's a year-round thing for the band. A lot of people think that after football season that's all we do, but it's not. We have the wind ensemble, we have the jazz ensemble, and I alluded to earlier that our wind ensemble is going to go on tour this year. And that tour is going to stop at high schools in Atlanta, Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, Dothan. We're looking at going to Dothan this year. And if we're able to get to Pensacola, we will. And along those stops, we want to stop at some Macy's stores to kind of generate some excitement about our band going to Macy's in November. I've contacted the Macy's representative in New York, and she put me in touch with the store in Birmingham, the store in Nashville, and the store in Atlanta, one of the stores in Atlanta. So we want to make sure that we're able to go to some of these stores and set up a small pep band to play and bring our alumni out and have like a Macy's pep rally of sorts. So look out for that in the future. And, you know, as far as what we're planning to do in the future, as far as our recruiting, you've seen the QR codes on there. So we ask that everybody that you can share those. We're going to put those on our social media pages. They should already be up. So just spread the word. We are ready to recruit. We're losing quite a few good students this year who graduated. I think we graduated about 12 students in the fall, and we're going to lose probably about 20, 23 more in the spring. So all of those things are important to us to keep our band program rolling and not just be stagnant. Our Macy's support. We again, thank you guys for everything that you've done so far. The university has set up a gold meter that is going to be launched pretty soon, and you can set up a team to raise money. Like the team that I set up, my goal for my team is $10,000. So we're going to get these guys to go out and solicit funds, or we can all pay ourselves as much as we can. And it doesn't matter how much you pay. It's just as long as you pay something or contribute something to the fund, then that will help us out greatly. Every little bit helps. So on that, I want to thank our band boosters again for all the work that they've done to support us. You just cannot imagine how these guys work to give us the things that we need. I thank our administration, Dr. Wims, my immediate boss, Dr. Talley, Dr. Ali, Mr. Ali, who is, I forget his title sometimes, but advancement in marketing, vice president in those capacities, and our band students. I cannot get away from without thanking our band students, because we ask a lot of those guys. We love them. We have to chastise them sometimes, not physically, but you know, we just have to stay on top of them to make sure that they're doing the things that they need to do to get in and get out and graduate. And to my family, I thank them for the support that I get from them all the time. They're at every event or most of the events that we have. So, and finally, I thank my band staff, Drew, Mario, Miss Granger, Miss Burks, Mrs. Foreman, anybody that has done anything to help our band program. I really appreciate everything you've done for us. And once again, I thank you guys for allowing us to have this platform. So with that, I will say I am good. Thank you.
Well, all right. And we're adding everybody back in. So, ladies and gentlemen, we like to thank Mr. Wright, Mr. Mario Warren, and Mr. Shelman, Drew Miller. And I will tell you three that you will be back on this show again. It is not, and it is not an option. It is not a conversation. You will be back on this show again. So when we come a calling, you be prepared to say yes and come, and we'll have this same fellowship, and we'll continue to support you all. Whatever you need from us, just continue to let us know, because we're for the people and we're for you guys. So
you know how important this show, you want to know how important this show is to us? We carved out this time. We were having band practice from 6 to 8. We carved out this time to make sure that we stay on this show, and the drum majors are running practice outside, so they better be dismissed by now. But this is how important we think this show is, and we thank you guys for this.
Nice.
We thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you so much.
That means a lot. That means a lot. Well, gentlemen, we thank you, and we will definitely be talking to you guys soon.
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Off they go, gentlemen and ladies.
I'm like,
all right.
Good job. Good job with that. Good job with that, Jen and David, man. Good job producing that.
Yes, it was very good. Very good.
Much appreciated.
And so for those of you,
and also thanks for the comments and shares too. I looked on our Facebook From the Hill. The live feed was shared 9 times on the From the Hill. But good job with that.
Nice.
And we got a lot of comments. So great.
Absolutely. So, all right. So we've got a few more minutes here in the show. So we've got a couple of updates. And Tenarius, the floor is yours.
Great. So now weekly when Dr. Brian has some new stuff to share with us. We're gonna share it with you. We're in constant contact with him all the time now. And Dr. Brian does have a new sports information director. His name is Jordan Benson. He will start sometime this month. He also has a new academic advisor. She goes by the name of Janet Jones. She will also start this month. And he has a new executive assistant. She goes by the name of Crystal Williams. He's also solidifying a new soccer coach and another administrative assistant. And today he's actually en route to go to the NCAA convention in San Antonio. That's where all the directors, all the ADs and the other assistant ADs go yearly. This is their first convention in person since COVID. So I'm pretty sure he's excited to be in San Antonio to, network and to, learn stuff from people. People learn something from him. So he's Dr. Brian's an open book, just so you know. I reach out to him. I said, he said, if I can share it, I'll share it with you. And every week when he has an update, we're going to share it with you guys.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So please be apprised of that. What's so important about that sports information director, all those times that everybody has complained about website not updated, rosters not updated, sports information director, that is your man. So thank you, Tenarius, for that. And now our final segment of the night. We are going to pick the NFL playoffs. Now, those of you that are still with us, I just want to see everybody make a comment, and I just want everybody in their comments to tell us who you believe is going to be the Super Bowl champion. So, ladies first, I want to CJ, can we get the SID on the show? Yes, we are going to get that man on the show. We're going to bring him dragging and kicking and screaming. We getting him on here. You know it. You know it. All right, so I want everybody to pick in the comments who they believe is going to be the Super Bowl champ. Jay the Great, I want you to go through the entire bracket, pick all the games that you see, and then give us your Super Bowl champ. And then David, then T Gooden, and then yours truly will close it out.
Okay, then. So.
And we're gonna verify every week too. Every week.
Oh yeah, and all this is recorded. Right. Even though you in the comments, we see what you pick. So don't be coming around talking about I pick the Cowboys all the time. No, you didn't.
Tell you something. You ain't gonna ever worry about me picking the Cowboys in anything. I wouldn't pick the Cowboys in the best professional team contest in the city of Dallas. You ain't got to worry about.
I got to write my stuff down first.
Okay, like I said, so man, like this NFL playoffs. Well, first of all, this NFL season was just man. But let me get to it. So, man, Chargers versus Jaguars. I'm gonna go. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Just flip a coin on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers. Because either way, whoever play Kansas is not going to win. So that's that on that.
Correct.
Let's see. I'm going to go, depending on how Lamar Jackson is, I'm going to go with the Ravens. And then I'm going to go with the Bills over Miami. And in the NFC, I don't want the Cowboys to win anything. So I'm going with Tampa Bay. You know how they say, Tampa is now Tampa. So we're going to go with Tampa Bay, the Vikings, and San Francisco.
Okay. Now you're at the divisional round, Jim.
Division round, I'm going with Kansas City. And I'm going with the Bills over the Ravens. And then we have Eagles. I got the Eagles over the Buccaneers. And I have the 49ers over the Vikings. Now, once we get to the conference championship, I have my mind is saying Kansas City, but my heart is saying Buffalo. So I'm going to go with Buffalo winning the AFC. And then I'm going to go with the 49ers winning the NFC. So my Super Bowl pick, oh my goodness. And I'm going to say this because I love, I'm going with the 49ers. I'm gonna go with the 49ers win it all. I am biased. Let me say this. My high school classmate is a defensive coordinator. He is from Bessemer, Alabama. So D'Amico Ryans, let's go. So I do want him to get a ring. And the 49ers is my boyfriend's team. So I am a little partial. So I'm going with 49ers going all the way.
There it is. 49ers over Bills for Jen. It is in stone. Mr. David Thomas.
Now, y'all know. I'm just going to make this real quick and just pick my overall pick. I'm going with the Niners also. The reason why I'm going straight to who's going to take it all is because y'all know I enjoy watching sports, but I can't talk sports the way y'all talk sports. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Niners to go all the way.
Who you got the 49ers beating, though?
49ers beating, if I was to pick, I'm going to say the Bills.
All right. There you have it. David, 49ers over Bills. Locked in. T. Gooden.
Okay, so I have the Jags over the Los Angeles Chargers now. I have the Jags over the Chargers. I have Cincinnati over Baltimore, and I have the Buffalo Bills over Miami. Of course, I got Tampa Bay over the Cowboys. I have the Vikings over the Giants, and I have San Fran over the Seahawks. So division round, I have Kansas City winning, and I have Buffalo winning. I have Philadelphia winning, and I have San Francisco winning. In my conference championship, I have the Bills beating Kansas City, and I have the Eagles beating San Fran, and I'm going with the former Alabama quarterback, the one that they said would never make it to the NFL and be a productive quarterback to win the Super Bowl and shock the world. Go Eagles.
Well, there you have it. T. Gooden says Eagles over the Bills. All right, now for yours truly. All right. I've got the Chargers over the Jaguars. I love the Jaguars, but no, it is going to be the Chargers. I like the Bengals beating the Ravens. They just played on Sunday, and Lamar Jackson is still hobbled. Even if he will play, he will not be effective. Bengals. Give me the Bills to destroy Miami with a second-string quarterback. NFC. I think Dallas might have a chance, but I'm going with Tampa. I can't pick against Tom Brady. I am going to go with the Giants to upset the Vikings. The reason why, they just played on Christmas Eve in the same building. It took a 61-yard field goal by Vikings kicker Greg Joseph at the gun to beat the Giants. So in the return match, I got the Giants in an upset. And I've got the 49ers winning easily. Okay, so now, for me, I've got the Chiefs beating the Chargers. And I've got the Bengals beating the Bills. Now, because I picked the Giants actually will go to Philly because Philly plays the highest seed remaining. I've got the Eagles beating the Giants, and I've got the 49ers beating Tampa Bay. My championship games, I've got the Bengals beating the Chiefs again for the fourth consecutive time. And I've got the 49ers beating the Eagles. My Super Bowl, I know I'm from Ohio. I hate the Bengals, but I can't go against Smoking Joe Burrow. So for me, I've got the Bengals beating the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Those are the picks. Now let's see what y'all say. I see a Seahawks. Oh my God, Seahawks really brand.
Somebody said the Seahawks.
Yeah, really.
Let me jump in on that. Listen.
Wait. I wouldn't even pick that. And I just told y'all I don't even I can't talk sports like
Listen,
that.
My dad is a diehard Seahawks fan. Like, he used to live in Washington State. You know, if you buy him anything Seahawks, he good.
Wow.
Even he said that the Seahawks getting up at the playoffs when they face the 49ers. So
They getting ready to get smoked like a pack of Coos, Marlboros, Newports.
And he said,
right.
Hey, Wayne, CJ. Hey, Wayne, CJ said a couple things. The first thing he said was Tennessee Titans. We didn't say what year. Obviously, it's not this one. And the second thing he said was any team with any. He also said any team with a black quarterback. So, good job, CJ, with your picks. They're very broad.
Yeah, any team with a black quarterback. Yeah. and then here goes some people talking about watch it now, Jen. Talk about the Cowboys. Andrea said, "You better not talk about my Cowboys."
Now, let me tell you about that.
Now, Cowboys. She don't play about them Cowboys.
Listen, she doesn't. We're in the same fantasy football league, and listen, she does not play. Andrea does not play about those Cowboys. So, my apologies.
Yeah, she said it here. America's team, the Cowboys. America's team. How you America's team and you ain't even been to the NFC Championship game since 1995?
The last Cowboys Super Bowl you got to watch on VHS.
Right. I was still in high school. I'm 44.
Hey,
I was still in high school.
The last time the Cowboys went to Super Bowl, Jesus was an infant.
And for y'all watching, I'm a diehard Saints fan, and so we at home too. But listen, we at home, and so will the Cowboys be after this weekend.
You're right about that. You're right about that. So, all right. So those were our picks. And everything was great tonight. I'm just really thankful that we got this 2023 slate kicked off properly. The Marching Maroon White episode was a tremendous success. Again, I want to just say special thanks to Mr. Carlton Wright, the band director, also Shelman, Drew Miller, and Mario Warren. Special thanks to you, Mr. David Thomas, and Miss J the Great for setting that whole thing up. We'd also like to thank all of you, the viewers. Just remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Also, just tell people about this episode, man. There's some people who still don't even know we have a podcast. People that graduated from A&M still don't even know that we have a podcast. As many times as we continue to share this stuff relentlessly, just tell people about it. And next week, oh my gosh, next week, we've got a really wonderful treat for everybody. It's ladies' night. We've got the women's bowling team. They'll be on with Coach James Moore. And then we've got Courtney Tate. She's joining us from the HBCU Go Network. She is a commentator. She's also going to join us. So, we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to participate. And again, if you need to even go back and watch this episode, I know you will. I know you should, because there's a lot of things that were discussed. But just tell people about us, y'all, because we're doing some great things. So, it's fun. It's you. It's us. It's From the Hill Podcast. For T. Gooden. For Jay the Great. Mr. David Thomas. I'm your man, Mr. Wild Wayne Cartwright. Thank you for watching us once again, and good night.
Good night.